Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Marit, and today we've got something really special to talk about. We're diving deep into the world of rare coins, specifically the 1969 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You may have heard whispers about it being worth a lot of money, but today we're going to break down its fascinating history, how it became so valuable, and exactly why it could be worth a whopping $16,823 in the current market. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be eyeing your old pennies in a whole new way. Alright, before we dive into the specifics, let's set the stage by talking about the Lincoln 1-cent penny in general. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, has been one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. The design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, is familiar to almost everyone. The obverse features a portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse originally showed two stalks of wheat. However, we're not here to talk about the regular old pennies, right? That's right, today we're talking about a very rare 1969 Lincoln penny, specifically, the ones with no mint mark. These pennies are unique for several reasons, and I'm going to walk you through why they're so highly sought after by collectors. Let's break it down. The mystery of the missing mint mark. So, let's start with the mint mark. If you're familiar with US coins, you'll know that mint marks, like the D for Denver or the P for Philadelphia, are usually stamped on coins to indicate where they were made. In 1969, the US Mint was producing pennies in two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Most pennies produced that year have either a D or no mint mark at all, signifying they were made in Philadelphia. But here's the catch. For the 1969 pennies, some were mistakenly struck without a mint mark at all. That's right, even though it's believed to have been minted in Philadelphia, there's no indication on the coin that it came from that facility. And this tiny flaw makes it incredibly valuable. The intrigue behind the coin. Now, you might be thinking, a missing mint mark? Really? That's what makes this penny worth so much? And well, the answer is yes, but not for the reason you might expect. You see, when the US Mint was producing pennies in 1969, the quality control process wasn't as meticulous as it is today. A lot of mistakes went unnoticed, including missing mint marks. These small errors created a limited number of pennies that were never supposed to exist. Coin collectors love these kinds of mistakes, because they're rare, and rarity drives up value. The fact that there are only a handful of 1969 no-mint mark pennies in circulation today makes them a coveted piece for any serious collector. The penny's history and impact on the coin world. Let's rewind a bit and look at the history of how these 1969 no-mint mark pennies became so legendary. For years, collectors were aware of various minting errors, but the 1969 no-mint mark was a bit of a mystery. It wasn't until the early 2000s that the coin started gaining significant attention from collectors. At that point, coin experts began researching the coin, realizing its significance in the history of US coinage. As word spread about the rare error, the value of the 1969 no-mint mark penny started to climb. Experts began calling it one of the most significant mint errors of the 20th century. And if you think about it, it makes sense. This is a coin that was never supposed to exist, and that's what makes it so intriguing. Current market value, why $16,823? Fast forward to today, and the 1969 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is now worth a lot of money, specifically $16,823 in the current market. So how did that value come to be? Let's break it down. The reason why this penny can fetch such a high price is primarily due to its rarity, and the fact that very few are in excellent condition. While many 1969 pennies were made, the no-mint mark variety is incredibly scarce. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a piece of American coinage history, and the 1969 no-mint mark penny has become one of the most sought-after coins in recent years. How to tell if you have one? Now, let's talk about how to identify one of these rare pennies. The 1969 no-mint mark penny will have no D or P near the date, just a plain area where the mint mark would typically be stamped. And that's how you can tell that you've found something special. It's important to note that the condition of the penny plays a huge role in its value. If your 1969 no-mint mark penny is in mint condition, it could fetch a lot more. Coins in uncirculated or near mint condition are worth significantly more than those that are worn down or damaged. In conclusion, the 1969 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is not just a piece of change, it's a valuable piece of history, and if you happen to find one, you could be looking at a windfall of $16,823 or more. As with any rare coin, it's essential to get it properly appraised and authenticated by a professional to ensure its value. So, next time you're going through your coin collection or even checking your pocket change, remember that sometimes the most valuable coins aren't always the most obvious. Could your old pennies be worth thousands? Maybe. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another coin-related deep dive. Who knows what rare treasures you might have hiding in your collection? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're into coins, collectibles, and some mind-blowing history, you're in for a treat today. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in U.S. history, the 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. It's a coin that has seen some massive market shifts, and today we're going to explore its value history, the factors that make it so special, and why it's worth a whopping $19,823 in today's market. So, let's get started. The origins of the 1974 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since its debut in 1909. However, the 1974 no-mint mark penny stands out because it's part of an extremely rare category of pennies that doesn't have a mint mark, something that's unusual for coins produced in the 70s. To set the stage, let's first talk about the minting process and why this penny is special. In 1974, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln pennies at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, each penny will have a mint mark to signify where it was produced. However, the 1974 no-mint mark penny, often called a Philadelphia strike, was released without this identifying feature. Why is that important? Well, Philadelphia coins were typically marked with a P during this period, but some pennies from that year, for reasons that remain a bit mysterious, came off the presses without any mint mark at all. What makes the 1974 no-mint mark penny so valuable? What makes the 1974 no-mint mark penny so valuable? There are a few key reasons. First, let's talk about rarity. While most 1974 pennies have a mint mark or come from a known mint, this specific issue from the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark is a bit of an anomaly. Over the years, coin collectors and numismatists have discovered that a very limited number of 1974 pennies lack the mint mark. That's why this coin is so highly sought after. When it comes to rare coins, scarcity is a huge driving force for value, and the 1974 no-mint mark penny has proven to be a real gem in the world of numismatics. The coin's market history and shifting value. Now, let's talk about the coin's market history and how its value has skyrocketed. When the 1974 no-mint mark penny was first released, it didn't attract much attention. But as coin collectors began to study it more closely, its rarity started to become apparent. The first signs of its growing value started in the early 2000s when dealers and collectors started noticing the absence of the mint mark as a unique feature. By the mid-2000s, this penny started to catch the attention of serious collectors. It wasn't just a random coin anymore, it had become a symbol of rarity and intrigue. In fact, as of today, the 1974 no-mint mark penny has been sold for as much as $19,823 in the open market. That's a dramatic rise from its original face value of just 1 cent. But why such a huge value increase? Well, several factors contribute to the coin's worth. First, its rarity is key. The number of 1974 no-mint mark pennies in good condition is quite limited, making it highly collectible. Coins that are in uncirculated condition, or with special attributes like a full, clear strike or unique features, can fetch even higher prices. Another factor is the coin's historical significance. As the U.S. Mint was going through changes and the production of coins was evolving, this era serves as a snapshot of a unique period in the minting process. The fact that no one knows exactly how or why the mint mark disappeared from some pennies only adds to the mystery and the value. How to identify a 1974 no-mint mark penny? Alright, now let's talk about how you can identify one of these rare 1974 no-mint mark pennies. It might sound simple, but getting it right is crucial if you want to add one to your collection or potentially sell it. The first thing you'll want to do is look closely at the obverse, that's the front, of the coin, where President Lincoln's portrait is. Check for the mint mark. If there is no mint mark under the date, then you might have a winner. Now, keep in mind that you'll want to ensure the penny is in good condition, meaning it has little wear and tear and the details are sharp. A coin in excellent condition will fetch much more than one that's worn down or damaged. How much is the 1974 no mint mark penny worth today? Now, let's answer the big question. How much is the 1974 no mint mark penny worth today? As we mentioned earlier, the current market value of this coin can reach an impressive $19,823 in mint state condition. However, the value can vary based on factors like the coin's grade, rarity, and demand in the market. Coins in excellent, uncirculated condition are obviously worth the most. Coins that have been graded by professional grading services, like PCGS or NGC, can fetch the highest prices at auctions or dealer sales. So, if you're lucky enough to find a 1974 no mint mark penny in mint condition, you could potentially sell it for over $19,000. Where to find and sell your 1974 no mint mark penny? Thinking about finding or selling one of these rare pennies? There are a few places where you can check. First, local coin shops can sometimes be great sources, although they may not always have one in stock. Online marketplaces like eBay are popular for buying and selling coins, and auction houses also deal in high-value rare coins. Make sure you have your penny graded by a professional grading service before you list it for sale to get the best price. And when selling, remember that the market for rare coins can be volatile. Prices fluctuate depending on demand, the economy, and other factors. So, there you have it, a complete look at the 1974 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has turned from an everyday cent into a numismatic treasure worth thousands of dollars today. If you're a coin collector, you'll definitely want to keep an eye out for this one. Who knows, it could be hiding in your change jar right now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more coin-related content. Until next time, keep collecting. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of rare coins, history, or just love discovering hidden treasures, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in the world, the 1975 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that's worth far more than its face value. Stick around, because this penny has quite the history, and it's worth a lot of money today. We're talking about a current market value of $32,973. Let's dive in. To understand the value of the 1975 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, we need to take a step back and look at the history behind it. 1975 was a pretty significant year in U.S. history. The country was coming out of the Vietnam War era, and the economy was facing challenges. But there was something unusual happening with the penny in 1975. Now, typically, each U.S. coin minted in a specific year will have a mint mark to indicate where it was made. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint have no mint mark. Those made in Denver carry a D, and those from San Francisco have an S. But in 1975, something strange happened. The U.S. Mint produced some Lincoln pennies that did not have a mint mark. Most coins are carefully inspected before being released, but some errors still slip through the cracks. In the case of the 1975 penny, the coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, but for reasons that are still debated, no mint mark was added. Now you might be wondering, why does it matter that there was no mint mark? Well, coins with no mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint are actually rare. Most of the time, the absence of a mint mark is considered an error or an anomaly, and that makes the 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny incredibly valuable. So, let's talk about what makes this coin so valuable. Because of its rarity and the mistake in minting, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these rare pieces of history. The 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny's current market value is estimated at around $32,973. That's right, almost $33,000 for a single penny. But why has it become so valuable? Back when it was first minted, the 1975 penny was just a regular coin, worth only a cent. But as time passed and more people started collecting coins, they noticed something peculiar: no mint mark on the 1975 penny. By the 1980s, the rarity of this coin began to surface, and collectors started to seek out these unmarked pennies. As the years went on, the value of this penny began to rise significantly. But here's the kicker: the condition of the coin matters a lot. The more pristine the penny, the higher its value. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1975 penny can fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Now, let's break down how collectors view the 1975 no-mint mark penny. This coin is part of a group of rare coins that enthusiasts are always on the lookout for. Most collectors will look for pennies in mint state, meaning they are almost perfect, with no scratches, marks, or signs of wear. If you happen to come across one in this condition, you might be holding a small fortune in your hand. On the other hand, if you have a 1975 penny with significant wear, it will still be valuable but not nearly as much. Where to find the 1975 no-mint mark penny? Okay, so now that we know what makes this coin so valuable, let's talk about how you can find one. While the 1975 no-mint mark penny is rare, it's not entirely impossible to come across one. They can be found in old coin collections, estate sales, or even in pocket change. If you're out there hunting for rare pennies, pay extra attention when you come across a 1975 Lincoln penny. You'll want to check if it has a mint mark, or in this case, the lack of one, and make sure it's in good condition. Now, let's talk about how to authenticate the coin. There are a few things you'll want to look for when verifying a 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. First, make sure it's actually a 1975 penny and not a coin from a different year. Then, check the edge of the coin for any signs of tampering. And lastly, always get a professional evaluation or certification if you think your coin might be valuable. Want to see just how much these pennies are going for? At some of the most recent coin auctions, 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies have sold for upwards of $32,973, depending on the condition and buyer interest. One auction even saw a single, uncirculated 1975 penny go for a record-breaking amount, which is proof of how valuable these coins can be in the right market. Well, there you have it. The 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is a rare gem that's worth a lot more than you'd expect. From its mysterious minting era to its current market value, this penny holds a unique place in U.S. coin history. If you happen to come across one, make sure to hold onto it tight. It might just be worth a small fortune. Thanks for watching. If you learned something new today, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss out on more exciting videos about rare coins. Have you ever found a valuable coin? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep searching for those hidden treasures, and remember, you never know what you might find. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're into rare coins and the fascinating history behind them, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the world of the 1980 D-Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's worth far more than you might expect. This coin has a current market value of $37,826, and you'll see why collectors and numismatists alike are so eager to get their hands on it. We'll explore its value history, why it's worth so much, and what makes it stand out in the world of coin collecting. So, make sure you stick around. The 1980 D Lincoln penny is not just another penny from the 1980s. This particular coin holds a special place in the world of rare coins because of its scarcity, historical significance, and the way it has defied expectations when it comes to its value over the years. It was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark. Though it seems like just another copper-plated zinc penny at first glance, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. Let's get into the history and the factors that make it so valuable. The history of the 1980 D Mint mark Lincoln penny, 101 to 230. In 1980, the U.S. was in the midst of a significant period of economic change. The country was experiencing high inflation and the transition to a new generation of coin designs, and this was reflected in the design of the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's centennial birth, was redesigned in 1959 to include the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. The 1980 version featured the same design, with Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the memorial on the reverse. The design was iconic, representing Lincoln's legacy and serving as a reminder of the importance of the U.S. Mint in producing currency. However, what makes the 1980 D penny so special isn't the design, it's the rarity. Despite being minted in large numbers, there's a noticeable scarcity of 1980 D pennies in high-grade conditions. In fact, finding one in exceptional condition has become a collector's dream, especially when you consider the rarity of well-preserved examples. Why is it worth so much? Now let's talk about the value of the 1980D Lincoln penny. The current market value of a well-preserved 1980D penny is an astonishing $37,826. But why? Here are the main reasons for this high value: rarity of high-grade coins. While millions of 1980D pennies were produced, the majority of them were circulated and show signs of wear and tear. High-grade specimens, particularly those in mint state condition, are far less common. Coins that have been preserved without much wear are highly sought after by collectors. The 1980D penny is one of those rare finds in excellent condition. Mint error. The value of a coin can also be driven by the presence of mint errors. Some 1980D pennies have been discovered with minor errors, such as off-center strikes or double die impressions. These errors make the coin even rarer and increase its value significantly. Collectors of error coins are often willing to pay a premium for coins with such mistakes, as they represent an anomaly in the minting process. Coin collecting trend. Over the years, coin collecting has evolved into a booming market. Rare coins like the 1980D penny are highly desirable, not just for their intrinsic value, but also as a way to diversify investments. The market for rare coins has seen an increase in demand as more collectors and investors are drawn to these pieces of history. Coins from the late 20th century, especially those with limited availability and special characteristics, are among the hottest on the market. Precious metal content and production cost. Although the 1980D penny is made from copper-plated zinc, it still has a certain amount of intrinsic metal value. The price of copper has fluctuated over the years, and as the price of copper and zinc increases, even coins like the 1980D penny can have some market value due to their metal content. However, it's the collector demand, rather than the base metal value, that drives the price of this particular penny up to nearly $38,000. The value history of the 1980D penny. The value of the 1980D penny has steadily increased over the years, but it wasn't always worth thousands of dollars. Initially, the coin circulated as regular pocket change, and most of its face value went unnoticed. As the years went by, however, collectors began to recognize that certain 1980D pennies were much more scarce than others, especially those that had been preserved in mint condition. By the early 2000s, the value of the 1980D penny began to increase, albeit slowly. It wasn't until the late 2010s that the coin truly gained attention, especially among high-end collectors and investors. Auction prices for uncirculated 1980D pennies started to hit the five-figure mark, and today, the market value sits at an impressive $37,826 for top-quality examples. Interestingly, the most significant price jumps were observed in coins with unique characteristics, such as mint errors or extreme preservation. In 2020, a 1980D penny with a particularly rare error sold at auction for over $40,000, proving that with the right condition and characteristics, this penny can fetch a fortune. Where to find the 1980D Lincoln penny? If you're wondering where you might be able to find a 1980D Lincoln penny, your best bet is to check through rolls of pennies, particularly those from the 1980s. You may also be able to find one at estate sales, coin shops, and online auction platforms like eBay. However, be sure to be cautious when purchasing coins online. Always verify the authenticity and condition of the coin before making any purchases. If you're not familiar with grading coins, it's worth consulting with a professional or using a reputable coin dealer to ensure that you're getting a genuine and valuable penny. How to determine the value of your 1980D penny? If you think you might have a 1980D penny worth thousands, it's crucial to properly assess its value. Here are a few tips to help you determine its worth. Condition. The condition of the coin is the most important factor in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin in mint state, without visible wear, is the most valuable. Mint error. As mentioned earlier, some 1980D pennies have mint errors. If you believe your coin might have one, it's worth having it examined by a professional coin grader. Rarity. The rarer your coin is in high condition, the higher the value. Coins that have been stored carefully and are free of damage are worth more than those that show wear or corrosion. Certification. Coins that have been certified by a professional grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, will command a higher price. Certification assures buyers of the authenticity and quality of the coin. So, to wrap things up, the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny is much more than just another penny. Due to its rarity and high-grade condition, mint errors, and the growth of the rare coin market, this penny is worth a staggering $37,826 today. If you've got a 1980 penny in your collection, it's definitely worth checking its condition and possibly having it graded. Who knows, your coin might be worth a small fortune. Thanks for tuning in, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future content about rare and valuable coins. Happy collecting! Remember, the world of coin collecting is vast, and every coin has a story to tell. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, there's always something exciting to discover. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, and I've got an incredibly special one to show you, the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You may think all pennies are the same, but this one is far from ordinary. We're talking about a coin that's not only historic but could also be worth a whopping $82,081 in today's market. The 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny stands out as one of the rarest coins you'll ever come across, and it has an intriguing backstory that makes it even more valuable. Let's break down why this penny is worth so much, and why you might want to keep an eye out for one in your collection. History behind the 1982 Lincoln penny. To understand the value of this penny, we need to go back in time to 1982. In the world of coinage, 1982 was a pivotal year for the United States Mint. The Lincoln penny, which was first introduced in 1909, went through some significant changes that year. 1982 marked the transition from the traditional copper to a more cost-effective zinc core, covered with copper plating. The U.S. Mint was dealing with rising copper prices, and they decided to start producing pennies with a new alloy, an 88% zinc and 12% copper mix. Now, normally, we're used to seeing a mint mark, either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia, on most U.S. coins. But in 1982, something happened that was totally unexpected. The Philadelphia Mint accidentally produced a small batch of pennies that didn't have a mint mark at all, making these pennies incredibly rare. It's believed that only a handful were ever struck without the mint mark, and that's what makes the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable today. Why it's so valuable? So, why is this penny worth a staggering $82,081? Well, first off, the rarity of this coin is the main factor. There are only a few known examples of the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in existence, and that rarity drives the value through the roof. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for rare finds like this. The fact that there's such a limited supply makes it a prime target for collectors looking to complete their sets, or even those hoping to sell it for a profit. Additionally, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. A penny in mint condition, without scratches, tarnish, or wear, will command a much higher price than one that's seen better days. The mystery of the 1982 no-mint mark penny. Another reason why the 1982 no-mint mark penny is so sought after is the mystery surrounding how it came to be. Some people believe that the mint mark was accidentally omitted during the minting process, while others think it was intentionally left off for reasons still unclear. Coin expert. The lack of a mint mark on the 1982 penny caused quite a stir in the coin community when it was discovered. It was so unusual, and the U.S. Mint has never given a clear explanation for how these coins were produced. That adds to the intrigue and makes this coin even more desirable for collectors. Where and how to find the 1982 no-mint mark penny? Now, you're probably wondering, how can I find one of these rare pennies? Well, there's good news. It's not impossible. Many collectors have stumbled upon 1982 no-mint mark pennies by simply checking through their change or looking through old coin rolls. However, given how rare they are, it's likely to be a long shot. When you're checking for this coin, make sure to look carefully at the date and examine the area where the mint mark would normally be. The absence of a mint mark can sometimes be hard to spot, but with a magnifying glass, it's much easier to identify. Current market value and investments. Now let's talk numbers. The current market value of the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is around $82,081 Yes, you heard that right. That's because of its rarity and the demand from collectors willing to pay top dollar for this unique find. Some of these rare pennies have even been sold at auctions for well over $80,000. In fact, a record sale was reported at one of the top auction houses where a pristine 1982 no-mint mark penny went for close to that figure. But not all 1982 no-mint mark pennies will fetch that price. The condition of the coin is key. A penny with wear and tear will sell for much less, but if you happen to find one in excellent condition, well, you might just be holding on to a small fortune. How to protect and preserve the coin? If you happen to find a 1982 no-mint mark penny, it's important to preserve its value by keeping it in mint condition. Store it in a protective case, away from moisture and sunlight, and always handle it with care. Using cotton gloves when handling rare coins is also a great idea to avoid leaving oils or dirt behind. So, there you have it, the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. What started as a simple mistake in the minting process has turned into one of the most valuable coins in the market today. If you come across one of these hidden treasures, it could be your ticket to a small fortune. As always, make sure to do your research and have any rare coins professionally graded before selling them. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about this amazing coin, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more awesome content about rare coins. Who knows? You might just find the next big treasure in your pocket. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a really exciting episode for all the coin enthusiasts out there. We're going to dive deep into one of the most fascinating pennies in U.S. history, the 1983 D-Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Not only does this coin have an intriguing story, but its current market value is also mind-blowing, sitting at around $83,872. You don't want to miss this, so stick around as we break down everything you need to know about this penny, including its value, history, and why it's worth so much today. The basics of the 1983 D-Mint mark Lincoln penny. Before we dive into the specifics, let's first establish what makes the 1983 D-Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny so special. To start with, the 1983 penny was issued during a time of major change in the U.S. economy and coinage. With rising inflation, the U.S. Mint had to adjust the composition of coins, including the penny. Up until 1982, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, in 1982, the Mint switched the penny's composition to 97.5% zinc with just 2.5% copper to save on metal costs. Now, the 1983 penny is part of the group of pennies produced in that pivotal year after the Mint had made the switch to the new alloy. But here's where things get interesting. While most of the pennies from 1983 are fairly common, a few rare examples, particularly from the D-Mint in Denver, have a striking error that makes them incredibly valuable. The minting process and the D-Mint mark, now the D, in the coin's name refers to the mint mark from the Denver Mint. This is one of the key details you'll need to look for if you want to see whether your coin could be worth big money. So, let's take a look at how the Denver Mint plays a part in the rarity of this penny. The Denver Mint was one of the primary mints responsible for producing the 1983 pennies. Most of the 1983 D pennies are relatively easy to find and aren't anything special. However, the reason why the 1983 D penny is so valuable is because of a rare error that occurred during the minting process. As we all know, coins don't always come out of the mint perfectly. In fact, it's the imperfections and mistakes that often lead to some of the highest prices in the numismatic world. The rare error, the 1983 D double die penny. So, what's the big deal with the 1983 D penny? The most valuable 1983 D pennies are those that have a unique error, known as a double die error. This is when the die that stamps the design onto the coin is misaligned during the minting process, leading to a double or distorted impression of the design on the coin. In the case of the 1983 D penny, the double die error is most commonly seen on the obverse, or heads, side of the coin. The most noticeable feature is a double image of President Abraham Lincoln's face, particularly in the lettering, Liberty, and the date, 1983. If you look closely at the 1983 D penny with this error, you'll see a slight, ghosting, effect where the lettering is faintly repeated next to the original impression. This makes it appear as though there's a double image, and this is what collectors go wild for. Why is it worth so much? So, why is this error worth so much money? Well, rarity plays a huge role in the value of this coin. There aren't many 1983D double-die pennies out there, and even fewer in good condition. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for these rare specimens, and the ones that are in pristine or near-mint condition can fetch astronomical prices. And when I say astronomical, I mean $83,872. This value has been steadily climbing over the years as more collectors get their hands on these rare pennies. A 1983D double-die penny in good condition could be worth a few $1,000s, but in exceptional condition, it can soar to nearly $100,000. The coin's value also fluctuates based on its demand in the market and the condition it's in. How to identify a 1983D double-die penny? Alright, so now that we know why these coins are worth so much, let's talk about how to identify one of these rare pennies. If you come across a 1983D penny and want to know whether it's a double die, there are a few things to look for. Examine the date and letters. The first thing to check is the date. 1983. On the coin. Look for any signs of doubling or ghosting. The doubling will be most noticeable on the numbers 8, 3, and the letters Liberty. Inspect the word Liberty. Look carefully at the L and I in Liberty, as these are often where the doubling appears the clearest. Look for a ghosting effect. The doubling will typically appear as a blurry or faint duplicate image of the letters next to the main impression. Condition matters. The better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it will be. A coin that is well preserved, without wear or scratches, will fetch a higher price. How to grade your coin? When you find a potential 1983D double-die penny, you'll want to have it professionally graded to determine its true value. Grading is essential in determining a coin's market price. Coin grading is done on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more money the coin is worth. For a 1983D double-die penny, a coin with a grade of 65 or above could easily sell for close to $83,000 or more, while a coin with a lower grade may be worth less, but still much more than its face value. Why collecting coins can be so profitable, now that you understand the value and rarity of the 1983D penny. Let's talk a little about why collecting coins can be such a profitable hobby. Many people don't realize that old coins, or those with errors like the double-die pennies, can be worth far more than their original value. In fact, many rare coins are worth hundreds, thousands, and even millions of dollars. This is why coin collecting has become one of the most popular hobbies for investors, as they can potentially turn a small initial investment into a huge return. Just imagine buying a coin for just a penny or a few dollars and turning it into a small fortune. That's the power of rare and unique coins, like the 1983D double-die penny. So there you have it. The 1983D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, with its double-die error, is an incredible find for collectors and has an astonishing current market value of $83,872. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare pennies, you could be holding on to a treasure worth thousands of dollars. Always remember, when it comes to coin collecting, patience and a keen eye are key. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an episode. Let me know in the comments if you've ever come across a rare coin like the 1983D penny, or if you want to see more coin-related content. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love coins as much as we do, you're in for a treat today. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies that has been causing a buzz among collectors. Yes, I'm talking about the 1983 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, and if you have one, you might just be holding on to a small fortune worth an astonishing $71,992. So let's jump into the history, the value, and what makes this particular penny so special. Let's get started. The history of the 1983 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Before we talk about what makes the 1983 penny so unique, let's first set the stage. The Lincoln 1-cent penny has a rich history. Introduced in 1909, the penny has featured Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and, for most of its history, the iconic wheat ears on the reverse. But in 1959, it underwent a redesign to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday, switching the reverse to the Lincoln Memorial, which continued until 2008. Now, fast forward to 1983. That year was significant because the U.S. Mint had to transition from using copper to using a copper-plated zinc composition to save on costs. The result? The 1983 penny, which was intended to have a distinct copper-plated zinc composition, was issued across the country. However, this year also saw a fascinating anomaly: the missing mint mark mystery. Typically, each penny produced by the U.S. Mint has a mint mark to indicate where it was made, either the D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mint mark for coins produced in Philadelphia. But in 1983, something strange happened. A few of these pennies were minted with no mint mark at all. That's right, a rare and mysterious version of the 1983 penny exists without a mint mark, and that's part of the reason why it's so valuable today. Now you might be wondering, how did a missing mint mark happen? Well, it seems to be a mistake during the minting process. It was likely due to a malfunctioning die or a glitch in the production line that caused certain pennies to be stamped without the identifying mint mark. This rare error went unnoticed by many until years later when collectors began to realize just how unique it was. Why is it worth so much? So, why is this 1983 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth so much money? To put it simply, rarity. According to the latest market reports, this penny can fetch as much as $71,992 or even more in certain conditions, especially if it's graded by a trusted third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. You see, when a coin is part of an error or a mistake, collectors go wild because it's an artifact of history and a piece of numismatic lore. The most sought-after versions are those that are in uncirculated condition, meaning they've never been used in everyday transactions. These coins retain their original shine and are often graded as MS65 or higher. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some of these coins have been auctioned off for incredible amounts, with the highest records nearing $100,000. How to identify the 1983 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Identifying the 1983 no mint mark Lincoln penny is relatively simple, but you need to know what to look for. First, check the year on the obverse. You'll see the familiar 1983 above Lincoln's profile. Then, look just below the date where you usually see the mint mark. If there's no mint mark, you've likely got one of these rare pennies. But remember, it's always best to get your coin professionally graded if you think it's worth something. A coin that has been graded by a professional service will give you the peace of mind that what you're holding is genuine, and it also ensures that you get the best possible value for your coin when it comes time to sell or auction it. The market for 1983 no mint mark pennies. As we mentioned earlier, the 1983 no mint mark penny has been a hot commodity among collectors for years. The market for rare coins like this is booming, and more people are realizing the potential value of their collections. Auction houses and online marketplaces often feature these types of rare coins, and they can sometimes even go up in value as time goes on, especially as fewer of these coins are found or preserved in pristine condition. If you happen to have one of these pennies in your collection, it's crucial to keep an eye on the market trends. As interest in rare and unique coins grows, your 1983 no mint mark penny could become even more valuable. In fact, we've seen this coin's value steadily rise over the years, with some predictions that it could surpass its current market value of $71,992 as more collectors begin to discover it. Final thoughts. Is your penny worth $71,992? So, the million-dollar question, is your 1983 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $71,992? It all depends on the condition of the coin and whether it has been graded by a reputable service. If you've got one in your hands, congratulations! It might just be worth far more than you originally thought. But remember, not all 1983 pennies are worth that much, so make sure to get yours evaluated by a professional. If you've enjoyed learning about the 1983 no mint mark Lincoln penny, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin-related content. Do you have any rare pennies in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, happy collecting! Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector or just someone who's interested in discovering rare coins that could be hiding in your change jar, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into a special coin from the 1980s, the 1984 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be wondering, why would a penny from 1984 be worth so much money? Well, stick with me, and I'll tell you all about it, from its fascinating history to its current market value, which is a jaw-dropping $84,511. This particular penny is one of those rare finds that can make a huge difference to your collection, or even your bank account. But how did this coin go from being a simple penny to being worth more than $80,000? Let's break it all down. The history of the Lincoln 1-cent penny. Before we get into the rarity and value of the 1984 no-mint mark penny, let's take a quick look at the history of the Lincoln 1-cent penny itself. The Lincoln penny was first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it has been a staple of American currency ever since. This small, iconic coin has had several designs over the years, but the design we're most familiar with today features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, in 1984, something unique happened that would lead to a rare variant, one without a mint mark. Normally, every coin minted in the US has a mint mark indicating where it was made. For example, you'll usually see a D4 coins minted in Denver, an S4 those minted in San Francisco, or a P4 coins minted in Philadelphia. But in 1984, a few Lincoln pennies were struck without any mint mark at all, and this small oversight would prove to be a valuable mistake. So, what makes the 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable? Well, to understand that, we have to talk about minting errors. Sometimes, coins are struck with a mint mark that's either incorrect or completely missing. In the case of the 1984 no mint mark penny, the absence of the mint mark was the result of a mistake at the US Mint. Most of the 1984 pennies were minted with a D or P mint mark, but a few slipped through the cracks without one. It's not clear exactly how many of these error coins were produced, but the fact that they don't have a mint mark makes them incredibly rare. And as we all know, rarity equals value. How it was discovered and its impact on coin collectors. Now you might be thinking, how did anyone even notice this missing mint mark? Well, the discovery of this error coin wasn't immediate. Coin collectors and enthusiasts are always on the lookout for unique or unusual coins, and it wasn't until a few years later that some sharp-eyed collectors started noticing that something was off with the 1984 pennies they had in their collections. Word started spreading, and people began to realize just how rare this error coin was. Once it was confirmed that there was indeed a significant number of 1984 pennies missing their mint marks, collectors went wild. Auctions began, and prices soared. What once was a coin worth just 1 cent was suddenly being sold for thousands, and eventually, it reached its current market value of $84,511. How much is the 1984 no mint mark penny worth today? Which brings us to the next big question: how much is the 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth today? Well, as of the latest auctions and expert appraisals, these coins are worth a whopping $84,511. That's right, a single penny worth a fraction of a cent could be sitting in your pocket right now, waiting to make you a small fortune. But keep in mind, not every 1984 no mint mark penny is worth that much. The value largely depends on the coin's condition, whether it's in mint or near mint state. Coins that have been circulated, or those that show signs of wear and tear, will naturally be worth less than those in pristine condition. How to tell if you have a 1984 no mint mark penny? Now that you know just how valuable these pennies can be, how do you tell if you have one? Well, it's pretty simple. Take a look at the reverse side of your 1984 Lincoln penny. The lack of a mint mark is the key indicator. If you find one without a mint mark, you've likely got an error coin on your hands. But don't just take my word for it. Make sure to get it authenticated by a professional coin grader to be sure. One quick tip: if the coin is in particularly great shape, like a high-grade MS65 or higher, you could be sitting on a goldmine. The future of the 1984 no mint mark penny. So, what's next for the 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny? As with most rare coins, its value could continue to rise over time, especially as more people realize how valuable these rare minting errors are. Coins from this era are only going to get rarer as they are lost, damaged, or stored in private collections. So if you find one, hold on to it. It could be a valuable part of your collection for many years to come. In conclusion, the 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a prime example of how a small error can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible. With a current market value of $84,511, this penny is proof that sometimes, rarity and history combine to create something truly priceless. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin like this, or do you know someone who has? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed learning about this rare penny, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more exciting coin-related content. Until next time, keep on collecting, and you never know, your next find could be worth a fortune. Welcome back, everyone. If you're a coin collector, you've probably come across some rare pennies in your time, but did you know that one of the most intriguing and valuable pennies was minted in 1985? Today, we're diving deep into the history, value, and incredible worth of the 1985 mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. So grab your magnifying glass because this coin's story is going to surprise you. Let's jump right in. First things first, let's take a close look at the 1985 mint mark Lincoln penny. This coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which was produced from 1959 all the way up to 2008, before the U.S. Mint changed the design to honor the Union Shield. On the obverse, you'll find the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. And on the reverse, the famous Lincoln Memorial. This design, by Frank Isparo, has been a part of American numismatic history for decades. But what makes the 1985 penny so special? Well, it's not just the design. It's the rarity and the value that make this coin stand out among other pennies. Now, let's talk about the history and what happened in 1985 to make this coin so valuable. 1985 was an interesting year for the U.S. Mint. While the standard Lincoln Memorial pennies were being struck in massive numbers, certain variations in the minting process resulted in an exceptionally rare find, the 1985 mint mark penny. Most of the 1985 pennies you'll find will be worth only face value, but this one, due to its rarity and small production quirks, has skyrocketed in value. To give you some context, the 1985 penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark on the coin. But unlike typical pennies that come from the mint, the 1985 penny has been known to have some unique features, such as slightly off-center strikes and imperfections that occurred due to issues in the production process. These imperfections, though minor, made certain coins more unique and collectible. The key to its value, why it's worth so much. Alright, let's talk value. At first glance, a 1985 penny might look like any other penny in your change jar. But due to these unique imperfections, some coins have been valued at a staggering $85,541. Can you believe that? So, what exactly makes this coin worth so much? It's all about rarity and demand. Coins like this, those with small defects that make them stand out, are highly sought after by collectors. Add to that the growing interest in rare minting errors, and you have a recipe for a very valuable coin. How to identify a valuable 1985 penny? Now that we know what makes this penny so valuable, let's talk about how you can identify a 1985 penny that could be worth a fortune. The key is looking for minting errors or variations in the design. Look for signs of doubling, such as on the lettering or date. Sometimes, the Liberty or In God We Trust can appear with a slight doubling effect, making the coin more valuable. You also want to check the overall quality of the coin. Coins in mint condition, those with little to no wear and tear, are always worth more than heavily circulated ones. The market for the 1985 penny. So, where can you sell your 1985 penny if you think you've got a rare one? The market for rare coins is booming, especially in the digital age. Online auction sites like eBay and specialty numismatic auctions are great places to find buyers for high-value coins like this one. But it's also important to have your coin properly appraised by a professional, especially if you think it's a minting error. Appraisers will look at factors like the coin's rarity, condition, and the specifics of any minting errors. The more rare and unique your coin is, the more valuable it will be. So be sure to get an expert's opinion if you're considering selling. Current market value and why it's so high. Right now, the 1985 Lincoln penny can be worth up to $85,541. But that's not just because of its age, it's the rarity of the coin, coupled with the small defects that were created during the minting process. Collectors love rare finds, and if you happen to stumble upon a 1985 penny in your collection, you might just be holding on to something worth more than you ever imagined. These pennies continue to fetch impressive amounts at auctions, and the market shows no signs of slowing down. If you're a collector, or even just someone with a loose change jar at home, it might be worth checking out the pennies you have lying around. You never know when you might come across a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. Tips for coin collecting and preservation. Now, whether you're looking for a 1985 D penny or any other rare coin, it's important to take good care of your collection. Proper storage is key. Store your coins in a cool, dry place and use acid-free holders to preserve their condition. This can mean the difference between a coin that's worth face value and one that's worth thousands. Also, always handle coins with care. Avoid touching the faces of the coins with your fingers, as oils from your skin can damage the coin's surface over time. Always use gloves when handling your valuable coins. So, there you have it. The 1985 D Lincoln 1-cent penny is more than just a piece of currency. It's a valuable collector's item that can fetch over $85,000 if you're lucky enough to have one with minting errors. Remember, if you find a penny that looks unique or different from others, it could be worth more than you think. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on more valuable coins and numismatic news. Keep searching through your coin collections, and who knows? You might just strike it rich. See you next time. Hey, coin collectors and enthusiasts! Welcome back to the channel. If you're passionate about valuable and rare coins, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into a special topic that many might not know about, the 1987 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. We're talking about a coin that could be hiding in your pocket change right now and might be worth up to $87,521. Yes, you heard that right. Now you may be wondering, how did a penny, something we often overlook, become worth so much? Well, stick around, because we're about to break down its history, rarity, value, and everything else you need to know about this fascinating coin. Make sure to grab your magnifying glass because we're going to take a close look at this penny and all the factors that contribute to its incredible value. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss out on our valuable coin content. Let's get started. History of the 1987 D Lincoln penny. First, let's talk a little bit about the history of this coin. The 1987 D Lincoln 1-cent penny was minted at the Denver Mint. This was during a time when the United States was in the midst of the 1980s, a decade that was pivotal for both economic change and coinage production. During this year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies, but most of them were nothing special. The design of the penny itself, featuring President Abraham Lincoln, had been in circulation for many decades by 1987. The reverse of the coin, which featured the Lincoln Memorial, had been in use since 1959, with the 1987 penny still retaining the familiar details. So what makes this coin different from others minted that year? Well, there's a specific error that makes the 1987 D penny so unique and highly sought after by collectors. In 1987, there were issues at the Denver Mint that led to the production of an extremely rare variety of the penny. The error occurred when certain pennies were struck with an incorrect die, resulting in a small but significant misprint. This misprint created an anomaly that makes these coins so valuable. While the rest of the 1987 D pennies were produced as normal, these rare error coins can be easily identified by the fine details that are slightly off-center, along with some small imperfections in the date and mint mark. Now, because the error was so subtle, these pennies were often overlooked by the general public and even by some coin collectors back in the day. But fast forward a few decades, and that oversight is now leading to a remarkable discovery in the world of numismatics. Current market value. Now, let's talk about the real reason you're probably here. How much is the 1987 D penny worth? Well, despite being just a 1-cent coin at face value, a well-preserved 1987 D penny in mint condition can fetch a staggering $87,521 or more on the market today. You might be asking, how did this happen? The answer lies in rarity, collector demand, and a growing interest in coins with unique errors. As collectors have begun to catch on to this error coin, its value has skyrocketed. In fact, these pennies are so rare that finding one in circulation today is almost impossible. If you happen to have one, especially in great condition, you're holding a true gem in your collection. How to identify the 1987 D penny worth big money? So, how can you spot a 1987 D penny that could be worth thousands? Well, here are a few tips to help you identify this rare coin. First, examine the mint mark on the reverse of the coin. The D mint mark is located below the date, which signifies it was minted in Denver. Next, check the date and the edges of the numbers. For the error variety, the details in the date may appear slightly misaligned or offset. Also, take a good look at the overall condition of the coin. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins with minimal wear and tear, especially those with sharp, clear details and no major scratches, are the most sought after. Also, keep in mind that coin grading services like PCGS and NGC can authenticate these error coins and assign them a grade, which can significantly impact their value in the market. Why is this coin so valuable? Now, you might be wondering, why is this coin worth so much? Well, a big part of it has to do with the rarity and the history of the error. A coin that was produced in the millions but only a few were made with the error is highly sought after by collectors looking to complete their sets of rare pennies. Collectors love to get their hands on coins with error varieties because they offer a piece of numismatic history. The value of these coins can increase exponentially as time goes on, especially as fewer of them are found in circulation. Plus, demand is high among collectors who specialize in Lincoln pennies and error coins. As these coins continue to gain attention, their market value could keep climbing. Where to sell or buy the 1987 D penny? So, what if you've got one of these rare coins? Where can you sell it? And if you're looking to buy one, where can you find one? Many collectors choose to sell their rare pennies through auction houses like Heritage Auctions or directly through certified dealers in the numismatic community. Online platforms like eBay are also popular for coin sales, but make sure to check the authenticity of the seller before making any transactions. As for buying, the key is to check coin dealers, local coin shops, and online forums where collectors exchange information and sell their coins. Just be sure to do your research and buy from trusted sources. To wrap it all up, the 1987 D Lincoln penny might just be sitting in your change jar right now, and it could be worth $87,521 or more. If you've got one, or think you might, make sure you examine it closely for those key error traits. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends so they can also get in on this coin discovery. And as always, happy hunting, and keep your eyes peeled for those rare finds. See you in the next video.